YouTube, what's up? It's News Mazda 07. Welcome to another episode of Vintage Game Finder. I tried to put the video up before Christmas, but I wasn't able to. But this is my Christmas haul for this year. This is my first year as an actual collector, and I'm pretty happy to say that I picked up some pretty good stuff, and I'd like to show it all to you right now. First, I don't have any particular order, so I'll go ahead and start with the NES Advantage. Found at a yard sale. Picked it up with a couple other regular controllers, but this one I got for $1.50. It's in pretty good shape, and just got some rust here on the base plate, but for $1.50 it's not bad. Let's see what else we have. I found in box an original Game Boy AC adapter, still with the registration card, the instruction booklet, and the actual adapter. I got all that for 75 cents. Not bad again. This one, I was pretty happy about this. I actually don't have an Xbox because I haven't come across one that I'd be willing to pay as much as they're asking for. But it's a Monster Games standard composite S-Video AV cable. And from what people tell me, these things aren't too cheap to pick up on Amazon or eBay. So I made an offer to the guy because obviously it's never been opened before, and ended up picking it up for 50 cents. So eventually when I get an Xbox, I got a composite cable to go with it. Alright, let's see what else. Picked up some GameCube games. I got Batman Vengeance complete. Disc is in really good shape. What else? A title I had no idea that was on Nintendo GameCube, Die Hard Vendetta, which is complete as well. I'm kind of anxious to play this one. I still like first-person shooters. I picked both of those up for $7. And what else? Got Frogger. This is my second copy. Unfortunately, this Frogger for the PS1 doesn't have the manual, but the other copy that I have has the manual, so this is just basically trade bait. I got that for $1. Also, the same place, lady had a PS1, but all it had was this power cord on. I need to get the AV multi out eventually, and that's stuff you can pick up along the way. But interestingly enough, I got it with this Frogger, and I opened this, and actually has another game in it, and it's Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. I've never been an avid Crash Bandicoot player, but I will give it a shot. So both of these, 2 games and this PS1 for $3, so not too bad. Another GameCube game, just the case and the disc itself, Nicktoons Unite. Basically got it for my kids. I'm not really into Nicktoons for obvious reasons, but I got that, and I got this game here. Perhaps you guys have heard of it, Super Mario Strikers. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the manual, but I've never played this before, and from the looks of it, it has some decent resale value. So another good title for my GameCube collection here. And a couple miles from there, past another yard sale, I picked up some original Game Boy games and some Game Boy Color games. This is The Simpsons Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror, Tennis, which was a launch title, 1989 I believe was the year. Got WrestleMania 2000, Jimmy White's Cue Ball, which looks horrible, but I picked it up anyways. Just added to the collection. I got Worms Armageddon. I remember playing this on the Super Nintendo. Wasn't too bad. Ronaldo v Football. Soccer, basically. And another launch title, Nintendo Golf. I picked up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Game Boy games for $3. So that's that. Now, we're going to move on to Sega. This ended up being as a lot, so when I show you all this stuff, it's I'll tell you what I paid for at the end of it. Let me just make some room here because It's a lot of stuff. So Santa was good for me this year. I got Toe Jam and Earl. The label's messed up. And I guess the guy was hungry. He decided to take a bite out of part of the cartridge. But I got that for $2 as part of the lot. And then I picked this up as well. Sega Genesis Model 2. And I believe the second edition of the Sega CD. I've never actually owned a Sega CD. I had a cousin that did. And I always thought it was absolute garbage. But I'm a Sega fan. And, you know, I got to eventually collect everything they've had at some point or another. Even the Pico. So I'm happy I got this finally. Now it's time to start collecting Sega CD games. Which eventually I do when I get them out there. And I find them. So got that as part of the lot. And I also have, give me a second here, my second Sega Saturn. This looks like to be the first edition because I think the second had the circular buttons. So I got that, but I got the second edition controller here, which I haven't had, and I always wanted because Sega used to make some really good controllers. Got that with the power cord and a couple RF switches. That's part of the lot. But I will show you the best part of it all right now. And that is, we have a couple of joysticks here for the airplane games. Have another control deck. Have another zapper. Have another RF switch. Have another controller. Another AC adapter. When you see this, you're going to know what I'm going to have eventually. A NES dog bone controller. Can you guess what I have? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have a top loader. My first top loader ever. I'm extremely happy. This thing is dirty as hell, but I will get my hands on it and it's going to look like, well, it's going to look a lot better than what it looks like now. People have told me all kinds of crazy stories about this system, and to be honest with you, I had no idea until I started collecting that this thing even existed, because when this came out, it was about 1993, 94. I already had moved on to the Super Nintendo. So thinking of getting a Nintendo Entertainment System at that point was an afterthought. I didn't think of it at all. Started watching the Game Chasers, started getting more involved in the gaming community, and I've come to realize that this is very rare to find in the wild. And if it is, it's always going to be pricey. So I ended up buying the whole lot. The Genesis, Model 2, the Sega CD, the Saturn, all these accessories. I bought it all for $50. And then, you know, I chalk all that up to, you know, making connections, having alliances, networking. And, you know, I always make it a point to talk to people and tell them, you ever come across anything, give me a call first. They have my email, they have my phone number, they have my Facebook page or whatever. They get in contact with me, and usually I end up getting first dibs on it. You know, not because I give them more money, but, you know, I already have history with them, buying off of them and being, you know, a legitimate buyer with them. So it ended up working up in my favor. I already have people that want to pay me double what I paid for it, but I'm going to end up keeping it just because I've never had one before. So that's basically it for this video. I will be going out again this weekend. I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, although it's a little belated, and a Happy New Year. And as a plus, real quick, I just wanted to say I'm on a new gaming community site on Facebook called Southwest Florida Gamers. It's just a gaming community where all the people get together from our part of the region in Florida, where we discuss our pickups and do videos as well. So you might see me as a content provider on that channel as well. So I'll try to provide the link below in the description. Give those guys a look, check them out. You won't be disappointed. They have some amazing stuff. So basically that's it. Happy New Year's. Be safe and happy hunting.